Chapter 7 of 12 times 0 by Howard Browne. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Ben Tucker. Chapter 7. Martin Kirk stepped out into a circle of lush vegetation, and in doing so he learned something. He learned that the human mind is a far more adaptable mechanism than most people imagine, that they can pelt you with goofballs and you get sweat on your lip and have to talk to yourself to keep from sliding off your rocker. But after a while, when your mind seems halfway over the edge, it straightens up suddenly and starts going along. A defense mechanism against insanity? He didn't know. He only knew that when the tiger roared, he whirled around with his gun leveled, saw the 6-inch teeth, got wholesomely, insanely scared, and then everything was all right. He knew he was all right when he got the right reaction from the sight of the almost naked girl holding the tiger. For a long moment it was a frozen action tableau, the huge orange and black beast, the wide-eyed young brunette nudist, and the tropical forest with the great big fat sun overhead. The girl's voice nailed it all down. "Don't be afraid. Rondo won't hurt you." Kirk's resentment flared warmly, and had resentment been a tangible thing, he would have kissed it. "You're tootin' right he won't, sister. This isn't a toy I'm holding." "Rondo is very gentle." Kirk eyed the girl. "Why don't you put some clothes on?" Her teeth were as bright and even as little white knives, but her smile took the edge off them. "Only people in the city wear clothes. I wear them when I'm in the city. When I come out here, You don't wear any clothes? Tell me, where am I?" "Don't you know?" "Let's not play games. If I knew, I wouldn't ask you." "Did you come on the ship?" "You saw me get out of it, didn't you? Now answer my question." And he realized how certain he was of what her answer would be. "On my thoughts." "Well, fancy that. Now, tell me something else. Do you know what language you're speaking?" "Of course, English." "And why should you speak English on my thoughts? Haven't you got a language of your own?"
"Certainly, but you're obviously from Earth. I thought you were a watcher. I tried English. If you hadn't responded, I'd have spoken to you in other Earth languages."
"How many do you know?"
1117, with various dialects. 4,000 and...
"There aren't that many." She looked puzzled. Then her face cleared.
"Oh, you mean Earth languages. I was referring to those of the 5 galaxies."
"I'm not going to be surprised at anything," he told himself doggedly. "Not at anything. Do you know anyone named Naya North?" There was a childlike seriousness in her manner. It tended to deny the maturity of her body. Or was it the other way around? Martin Kirk wasn't sure, and grimly assured himself that he didn't give a damn. The girl said,
"I don't know anyone by that name, but I could find her for you."
"How would you go about it?"
"I go to the city and check the video directory, naturally."
"Naturally, and you'd put your clothes on before you went?"
"Of course I would. We go without clothing only out here in the playground."
Kirk realized he'd been holding the gun rigidly in front of him. The tiger had dropped to the ground and lay outstretched like a lazy, good-natured dog. Kirk lowered the gun, setting his eyes again on the girl. "A minute ago you thought I was a watcher. What did you mean?" He would have framed his questions with more guile, but something told him it wasn't necessary. This child of nature was utterly without guile. She said,
"An Earth watcher? What did you think I meant?"
"I didn't know, or I wouldn't have asked." It clarified. "Dakin is watching." "Sure. What the hell else would a watcher do but watch? But why, and for what?" Kirk was mystified, but it didn't matter, he asserted inwardly, and turned his mind back to the straight line. The cop's line. "Will you put on your clothes and go into the city and locate Naya North for me?"
"If it will help you."
"It will. Where can I wait for you?"
"If you want to see Naya North, why don't you come with me?"
Kirk shrugged. Why not? So long as the score was completely unknown to him, why not follow the path of least resistance? "Get your clothes on," he said. The girl turned and started leading the tiger back toward a grove of trees. After a few steps, she turned back, a look of sober thought on her face.
"Are all Earthlings so assertive?" she asked.
Kirk grinned. "As long as it works, this one is, baby. But what if it stops working?" His reply was not audible, and the girl turned finally to disappear into the bushes. Kirk then experienced a strange feeling of unreality which persisted until the girl returned.
"My name is Raymond,"
the girl said solemnly. She wore tight-fitting trousers, a loose blouse, and had a silver-colored air car with room in the back for the tiger. Kirk knew it was an air car when the car lifted from the ground from no apparent means of acceleration and skimmed along just above the trees. He sat beside Raymond and asked, "About that ship I came here in, how fast does it travel, and how far is it from Mythox to Earth?"
"The distance is around 200,000 light-years, but the ship doesn't really travel at all."
"Maybe you could go into a little more detail," Kirk said, wearily.
"It's very simple. Distance, as you Earthlings regard it, is not distance at all. Space bends to a greater or lesser degree depending upon its immediate function, in whatever time-space equation you are using."
"Thank you very much," Kirk replied, and silently added, "Keep to the line. Hold to your own values. On Earth, wherever it is, a man is waiting to go to the chair for a murder he didn't commit. Use whatever equation you want to, that still adds up to the same. These people may be a lot smarter than you are, but they can't twist that one and make you believe it comes out any different." A strange city of graceful flying spirals was coming over the horizon. It moved closer, and the air car arced in to a halt on a huge cement landing area, punctuated with small circles of a different material. Raymond jumped from the cockpit, and Kirk followed to hear the soft thud of the cat's 4 paws landing beside him. The cat went over and sat down on one of the circles. Raymond followed, stood beside the animal, and called, "Don't you want to go down to street level?" "Of course. How stupid of me not to know how." The circle dropped silently beneath them in a bright metal tube in which the door soon appeared to let them out into a broad street filled with casually moving pedestrians. Kirk noted that none of them seemed in any hurry, that here and there was an individual dressed like himself. Watchers on furlough or vacation, he thought a trifle bitterly. This picture was far from complete, but enough of it added up to furnish a name for them. Quisling was a good one. Perhaps traitor was better. All in all, he found one satisfaction. He could travel about as he pleased. A short walk brought them to a huge 4- or 5-story wall, the like of which Kirk had never seen. It was symmetrically covered with small opaque glass windows, beside each of which was a dial not unlike the ones on Earth telephones. Catwalks of some bright metal covered the wall. On these catwalks numerous people were busy with a strange business Kirk could not follow.
"This is the video directory,"
Raymond said. She gave no further explanation, but while Rondo lazily rubbed noses with a bear cub sitting on its haunches, waiting for its master, she spun the dial with practical efficiency.
"Now, if Naya North is in the city and wishes to see you, her image will appear in the mirror."
As Kirk watched and the bear slapped the grinning tiger with a playful paw, the opaque glass cleared and the tall, willowy figure of Naya North appeared in miniature.
"You may speak in here,"
Raymond said, solemnly indicating a small screened opening beside the mirror.
"My, she's pretty, isn't she?"
Naya North was entirely composed. She wore a pale blue gown, and from the background in the mirror, Kirk gathered that she was at home. "Aren't you surprised?" Kirk asked. Now a slight frown creased the lovely Naya's brow.
"A little, perhaps. How did you get to Mythox, and why did you come?"
"A slight matter of murder. A murder you confess to, or has it slipped your mind?"
"Aren't you being rather absurd? That's all done with."
"Not as far as Paul Cordell is concerned. He's going to the chair, only he isn't. We're going back and straighten a few things out." Genuine surprise was reflected now, and possibly a certain contempt.
"My opinion of you lessens. I hadn't rated you as a complete fool. How did you get here?"
"The same way you did, I suppose. Is there more than one way?" Naya's frown deepened.
"Do you mean you were brought?"
"Not intentionally. I stowed away on that funny round ship that doesn't go anywhere and travels far." The beautiful brow immediately cleared.
"Oh, I see," Naya observed with amusement. "And you know exactly how you'll get me back to Earth, I suppose? Thousands of light years. It's a long walk."
"I'll take one thing at a time and worry about them in order of appearance. The main thing for you to remember is this. You may be as smart as all get out, but you broke an American law on American soil, by your own confession, and by God you're going back and answer for it."
"Idiot, I can have you—"
Kirk's mood changed to quizzical. It's entirely beside the point, but still I don't get you, baby. Why the switcheroo? You walked in and confessed, then you took a powder. Now you sneer in my teeth. What do you use for a rudder, sweetheart?
I followed orders, Naya flared with a mixture of anger and sullenness. I am now free of the assignment.
Kirk pursed his lips thoughtfully. You wouldn't be sort of a hatchet woman for this high-blown outfit, would you? I can think offhand of a few other names. Carney, Blatz, Kennedy. What gives with knocking off nuclear physicists, baby? Naya did not answer. When she started to turn away from the mirror, Kirk glanced at the silent Rayma standing with her hand on the tiger's head. Is there any way I can call on the lady in the mirror personally?
Not if she doesn't want to receive you, Rayma said.
She was studying Kirk with wistful dark eyes. Naya turned back quickly.
I'll gladly receive you. It's time I taught you a lesson.
Fine. What's your address? But Naya was gone. The little mirror turned opaque. Kirk shot a questioning glance at Ramu. Does yes mean no on this cockeyed planet?
Her car will come,
Rayma murmured. But the petite dark beauty seemed interested in other things.
You didn't tell me your name.
Sorry, rude of me. It's Martin Kirk. You've been pretty nice to me. I wish there was some way I could show my appreciation.
You're going to see Naya North?
Yes, she's a murderess. I'm taking her back to my planet.
I'm afraid that wouldn't be possible.
You too, honey? Kirk reached out and flicked one of the raven curls. If things were different, you and I might be able to have fun.
I spend a lot of time where you found me. Maybe...
I doubt if I can make it. But keep your clothes on after this as a personal favor to me. She was the very soul of solemnity.
I don't understand you. I really don't understand you at all.
At that moment, an air car, much smaller than Rayma's, dropped gently into the street beside Kirk. Good Lord, this thing smell me out.
It came to the mirror on Naya's private wavelength. Get in. It will take you to her.
Kirk crawled into the car. The last thing he saw before it lifted into the air were Rayma's dazzling black eyes. The last words he heard were,
Goodbye, Martin Kirk. I will visualize you.
The car swung up above the graceful, spidery buttresses and moved across the city. Kirk filled in the time by trying to figure out what made the things go. He hadn't gotten to first base when the car lost altitude and came to rest on a balcony hung with seeming perilousness on a sheer white wall. Kirk stepped out. A large glass panel had been pushed back, and Naya stood waiting in the opening. Nice of you to receive me, Kirk said. Have you got your bags packed for a trip stateside?
Please come this way.
Naya turned and moved through the room just off the balcony. On the far side, another door gave exit. She passed through it and turned as though waiting for Kirk. He took 1 step, 2, 3, 4. Then something came from somewhere and almost tore his jaw off. He went out in an explosion of black light. End of chapter 7.